All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today we have a brand new guest speaker on the show, Kristen Numen. And it's her first time here, so let's be nice. Let's be nice and welcoming. And we're going to be talking about working with your guides and so much more, of course. Working with your guides to assist with life situations, assisting with your life purpose and new direction that you wish to take. Guides can also assist you with the law of attraction and to truly live a more magical and fulfilling life on a higher frequency, higher vibration. And working with your guides trains your ego to become the observer and you see from a higher perspective. So, like I said, this is the first time that Kristen is with us, but she's very talented. She's very gifted. I worked with her last month, I think it was, and I was like, oh, she's really good. And so one of Kristen's gifts is the ability to see and work with her guides. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and that of others, so other people's guides, and bringing forward validating evidence from your spiritual team and specific guidance on your individual path. And from life situations to opening and using your own unique spiritual gifts, working with your beings of light truly enhances your daily life and bringing in more joy, gratitude, and peace, knowing that you have guidance and assistance with you always. You're never alone. So please join me in warmly welcoming Kristen to the show for the first time. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So glad you're here. So Kristen, because it's your first time here, can you just take a few minutes and tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, how you became to be a healer, intuitive, psychic, etc.?
Absolutely. I used to be a banker. I was in banking for about 15 years. I developed a severe heart problem, an electrical issue with my heart, and I tried to continue working. I had a terrible episode where I needed to be hospitalized. And in that moment, that's when my husband said, okay, I think it's time for you to stay home. And in that time, my anxiety went crazy, afraid of being alone, depression, all of that. And through a series of events, in 2012, I had my awakening, and I will never forget the words I said. There has to be more to life than someone else pulling the strings. There has to be more. Then the 11/11 started. Then I was finding feathers. I love to garden, but I never would find feathers in the garden. I don't know if you've noticed that when you go outside, just things that you observe and you notice. I've never seen feathers, especially not as in my face as they were and are. And then I began to search. In that beginning phase of awakening, you are Googling everything and just searching everything. And I'm like, I want to develop more. So I just found, Facebook groups, online groups, started practicing, developing gifts, because everything opened up all at once for me. Then they all shut down. And I had the feeling and the knowing. So the claircognizance and the clairsentience really came forward because I had to learn to trust myself. And I love how the guides always pull that stuff with you, because you have to learn to trust yourself. And then it just went crazy from there, meeting Susan Kennard and Rihanna Aronser that was on the show as well, Alara now. So I've had such beautiful souls in my life to help guide and teach me. Lansing is here, Lisa's here, my mom is here, and everyone that has helped me and assist me along my path. I am so blessed and grateful. So brought me to where I am right now, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely. And, I just love how you were talking about trust, right? If whenever people ask about how can I work with my guides, I don't hear my angels, I don't hear what they're saying or whatever, right? It always comes down to trusting. You're not trusting enough, right? And not letting go. So our mind gets in the way, right?
Yes. Well, that's the journey, right? The journey is about, we come to this earth plane, we lose our memory. So the journey is remembering who we are and trusting. My guides use a term called free fall. Free fall, where you stand there and they do these trust exercises at businesses, normally team building skills, where you just stand there like on a table and you fall back and everyone else catches you, you free fall. So I'll actually see myself in my mind's eye with my arms out and I just fall into their arms. And I state that with intention when my ego starts getting in the way, because that's what she likes to do. And then you just learn how to navigate and integrate the ego. And that's the beauty of the journey. And it does get easier from there, but we have to train ourselves working with the guides and being open.
And you also mentioned practicing. And the thing is, if you don't practice, you're not going to develop the skills, right?
Oh, absolutely. My dad would say this obnoxious phrase all the time. And he'd always say, it's just like riding your bike. And it's true. It's just like riding your bike. And every time I would try something new and I was nervous, he'd say, it's just like riding your bike, right? Look at you just soaring by. My mom's smirking right now. But it's absolutely true. It's channeling. You have to practice and allow yourself to get out of your way. And thank goodness my family's so open, because, you know, a lot of times they say you want to practice on people you don't know, which 100% yes. But I practice on people I do know, because you know everything about them. So guides, you got to give me some good validating evidence, and I have to trust. And the people that I'm giving the readings to are totally open. So I don't have to prove anything to them. They're already open to this. So that's another key there, is practice on people you know and asking those guys, give me the validating evidence, stuff I don't know. My husband and I have been together since we were 13 years old. So when his dad passed and he came forward, I said, you got to give me good stuff, because you know we know each other really well. And lo and behold, he did things that he didn't know, that we needed validation from my mother-in-law. So
wow,
absolutely.
And so and that's the thing too, is like, you know, you're asking the guides for the validating information. You're asking the guides for information for your clients. You're asking, you know, so you're asking, you're in communication and in a relationship with your guides. Like they're there to assist you, to help you, right?
Yeah.
It's not just you doing it alone by yourself.
Oh, no, you are not alone. And that was the biggest thing, is I became known for the one that can see the guides and connect and who's there, because I never felt alone. Because, you know, when you think back to when you were younger, after your awakening, you're like, well, I wasn't a magical child. I didn't do anything. Come to find out, my mom said, well, remember, you would like start talking this jibber jabber. Turned out I spoke light language. I would speak to the room because I was never alone. So the guides were always there. It's just, you know, interesting stuff that pops up after you awaken and you're like, huh. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It doesn't mean that it has to be that way for you,
No,
for all of you watching or listening now or later. But it is, you know, sometimes we miss those signs because we forget how really magical we are. We just think we're like, no, we're just like everybody else, nothing special about me. You know, we are told this by the collective, by the media, by family, friends, etc. Sometimes, like, there's nothing special about you. Or, you know, some of us unfortunately have had childhood where, you know, you kind of neglected, you know, is a nice term I'm going to use, you know, a little bit neglected. So not paid attention to, etc. Or not had anybody say anything nice to you, right? So then for somebody like that, you know, you're not going to know, like, believe, let's say, right away that, yeah, you are special, or that you have these gifts, or that, you know, you're worthy of having these gifts, etc. Right?
100%. When I give readings and they say, what a gift you have, and I'm like, oh, but wait until you find out what you have. Everyone has these gifts, your own secret sauce and secret recipe. You know, you having this show, and you have so many beautiful souls on it sharing their gifts. You see how different everybody has, their own fingerprint and what they bring to the spiritual community. That's what you all have. Everybody has it. It's just allowing it to open up and being in awe of it. Things that you are drawn to, that's the key too, as to what you
Absolutely.
can do, and some of your gifts as well. A lot of you are knowers, and you just know things because you know it. And that's claircognizance. Or when you're sitting on a bus somewhere and you're like, I need to move like 50 seats away from this person because you feel like not good juju. That's clairsentience. You're feeling these emotions. Those are gifts, and people don't realize that those are gifts.
Yeah.
So we are more magical than we are told. And when you open up that box and start going down those rabbit holes, man, it's pretty amazing. And I hope you are pleasantly surprised as to what you can do and who you truly are.
And that's the thing, is like, you know, I think when you're working with your guides, or just knowing just knowing that you have guides. You don't have to know who they are, what anything, but just knowing that you have guides who are with you, supporting you, helping you, keep you on the right path sometimes, that in itself is such a big deal, because, so many people feel like they're all alone, right? They don't have the support. And, a lot of times we don't have the physical support, for whatever reason, but then at least, you have the divine support, your higher self, your angels, guides, etc. Right? You have that. And when you start to actually have that relationship with them, that's when you really know. You can't just, I'm not going to share my story because we've talked about my stuff a lot on other shows. But the thing is, like, we're never alone. And, in some parts of my life, I've looked at it recently and it's like, yeah, my guides really pulled me through different situations. They got me to this point because, mentally, emotionally, I was unstable, I would say. So they kept me going. They pulled me through. They were there supporting me, holding my hand, holding me while I got through some stuff, right? So it's like and once you acknowledge that they're always there, and I think that's the biggest piece too, is acknowledging that your guides are always with you.
Yes, acknowledging your guides and ask, show me signs that you're with me, or play with them. This is lightheartedness. The more you are childlike and playful with your guides, man, that opens doors. When you start, we tend to pray and ask for signs and help when we are in the thick of it, right? And then we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's why it's so important to practice. Like Alara said, every day practice all of this, because when you're practicing with this lighthearted, beautiful energy and asking, show me a cardinal, or show me a sign, and just put out there, show me whatever sign, and you can feel within your being, your whole body, you get these truth chills, just these goosebumps everywhere that you know beyond a doubt that that's a sign for you. So playing with that energy, you know that they're there, you know that they're supported. It is a process. And as a human, we want things yesterday too, right? So
absolutely.
It's a process, just like you tend to your skin, the pimple's not going to go away overnight, people. No matter how many times it tells you on TV, use this and that sucker's gone. Yes, I'm comparing spirituality to a pimple, but that's how it is. It's a process, right? And you'll be pleasantly surprised as to how it develops for you.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And that's the thing. Like when you're working with your guides, and you don't have to, I'm going to say, you don't have to know who they are. You can just say, you know what? I know you're all here with me. Please help. I know you're all here with me. Can you please give me some guidance about blah, blah, blah. And then believe that you're going to actually receive it, and then be willing to receive it. I was thinking about the show really earlier today, Kristen, and one of the thoughts that came to me was around being willing to receive the guidance, right? And at the same time, and everybody will say, of course I'm willing to receive, but are you really? Is receiving the guidance more important, or are your old beliefs and patterns and fears and drama more important?
Yes. 100%. That's law of attraction, right? We have to be good givers, but we have to be able to receive as well. So do you have a subconscious belief? And ask, what are my subconscious beliefs that are blocking this ability to connect to my team? They'll let you know. Something might pop up on TV talking about self-worthiness. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. So when you're observant and you notice, maybe something pops up when you're going on the internet and those little things pop up on the side. Maybe it's something else around there that's saying, because of other people's beliefs, that it's weird, you're crazy, all that kind of stuff. You might have some subconscious beliefs that you look at, you acknowledge, you give it to the universe, to source, whoever you want to give it to, and allow the healing to come through. And they'll start working, you'll start noticing a difference because you're acknowledging these subconscious beliefs and you're using the law of attraction.
I'm going to just say one little thing. Instead of saying subconscious belief, just say belief. Because a lot of people have this belief that they can't access their subconscious beliefs.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Right? That's true.
So a lot of people have that belief that they can't access their subconscious belief. So just say, do I have a belief that is blocking me from blah, 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 and then be willing to receive that message of what it is. I just had this yesterday. I was thinking something, and then all these thoughts came up, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. These thoughts are not empowering. They're not uplifting. They're not helpful in any way? Are these even mine? Right.
Yeah.
And so then, I had a whole other dialogue with my guides, and and for me, it came down to, if your thought, your feeling, your emotion is not uplifting, it's not positive, it's not empowering, it's not yours.
Right.
Right. And so don't listen to that. So anyway, that's another story. But I really wanted to point that out, because it's like so many people, they have this block around subconscious beliefs, and I don't believe that to be valid anymore. So,
right.
Ask the question, do I have this belief, and be willing to receive the answer. And the answer is not going to always be what you want it to be. It's going to be like, yeah, this is what you've been playing over and over and over in your head for a long time. Are you willing to let it go? Right?
Yes, you have to be willing to look at those shadow aspects, they call it, the lower vibrational thoughts within you, because with the darkness, yin and yang, there's the light. There's a reason that that's there. And once we look at this and acknowledge these things, it allows more of the light to come in. So it's powerful stuff to let it come through, and to be okay with, just like Alara said, with whatever comes through, being okay with that, because bottom line is you have growth. When you look at that, there's power in that. So if I don't like the way something feels, I actually get excited now about it, which sounds odd, because I know, okay, I'm diving down another rabbit hole. This doesn't feel good. That means there's more healing there. That means there's more growth to take place. And that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So be willing to go down the rabbit hole, but also be willing to see what doesn't feel good. Right. What doesn't resonate with you. There's a reason why it doesn't, right? And that's another story. That's another show. So how, a lot of people ask the question about, what's my life purpose? I don't know which way to go, what direction to take. Is this next step the right thing for me? I don't know. Can our guides help with that?
100%. The biggest thing is, we are the ego and the spirit living simultaneously together through this journey. When your mind, your ego is saying, I need to get married, I need to have a good job, and I need to work for the county because I'm going to have, the health benefits and but your heart is just, there's something missing there. There's the heart-mind coherence of, this is the brain here. The heart is the brain, is the connection. And this is where your guides will also come through as well. What lights you up? Don't do what you're being told to do and you're following that path because this is what I'm told to do. What makes your heart sing? And that is how you find your life purpose. Did I ever think I would be a channel and doing readings and be on Alara's show? I was a banker. I was selling credit cards and opening accounts. This is not anything that was in my radar. So if someone said me that, I'm like, you need to go to one of those homes, because that's not right. But
exactly right. I used to work in the government, on surveys. I was a production manager for energy surveys. It's like, hello, what am I doing now? It's like, yeah, totally different, right? But so much more fulfilling. And then that's the key. It's like, yeah, the other part was good money, good security, all that wonderful stuff, but yes, I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy. There was something missing, right?
Yes. And on the flip side too, my husband and I had the conversation, because my husband is in construction, and I always talk about living my life purpose and being of service. And my husband Ray is like, well, I'm not really of service. I'm not doing that. And I said, whoa. He's got the biggest heart of anybody else I know. If you need him, that man is there for neighbors, friends, all of that. I said, you are living your life purpose because you're doing what he loves to do, which is, it's non-woo-woo. He's not awakened. He's spiritually aware, but he loves the construction work, the physical labor. He absolutely loves that. However, he's living his purpose by being that amazing person that he is, and that's what makes his soul sing. So you can see different perspectives of that, me being in the spiritual community and doing this work, and then my husband, who is living this very human life with a non-spiritual journey on this, path of being in construction and being able to be so connected like that and living a purpose of helping others in that way.
And as long as he's happy, that's the thing. It's like, as long as he's, being of service to himself, his family, his friends, and he's happy doing construction or whatever it is, that's all that matters, really. And the long end game of this, it's like, are you happy? I know there's a quote or a phrase that goes around all the time, like, at the end of the day, did I smile? Did I make somebody's day better in some way? But it's also about you. Are you happy doing what you're doing? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling joyful and, complete? I'm not sure if, like, that's right, but I feel like I'm doing way more now than I was when I was in the government. And that's why I was so miserable when I was in the government. It's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not being of service. And the head of the department that I worked in, he even told me, he said, of course you are. Look at all these, the surveys that we're doing. It's affecting so many people and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
no, it wasn't for me. I still didn't feel like I was helping anybody, right?
Yes, I get that, because in the banking industry, it's like they tell you different things that you had to focus on, and okay, we need to focus on loans and all of that. And even though I wasn't feeling fulfilled, because they even tell you how you're supposed to do it, and created all of this verbiage and everything for it. So gotta go with that gut, and that heart space. It'll open up. The guides will let you know. And really, it's about being the observer as well. When you're in things, even when you're happy and you're in it, being the observer is so important. Just what are your surroundings? Using your gifts, your human gifts. What do you see? What do you feel? What are you thinking? What's going on? That's why meditation is so important, because you get to know yourself. And just meditating by sitting outside and looking at the garden, you'll notice a bug on the leaf of a tree that's like 20 feet away from you. And it's amazing. That's using your clairvoyance. You're pinpointing that, but you're using your human side of your clairvoyance to pinpoint that, and allowing gifts to open as well from that perspective. But
absolutely. So, we're going to take some live caller questions. We already have people with their hands raised and questions in the chat, which is awesome. So I know we're going to have lots of questions about guides, working with guides, etc. But and I know we're going to do a short meditation process as well a little bit later, right? So so tell so when we're working with our guides, can you give us all just a brief little how to, because some people are still wondering, how can I connect with my guides?
Yes. Okay. So first things first, this is what I tell my students all the time. You walk, you breathe, you're a channel. You eat, you're drinking your water, your coffee, you're a channel. These are natural gifts. It's finding what yours are. So you might be listening to me and say, oh, she's clairvoyant, but I'm not always clairvoyant. I find such power in my claircognizance. The knowing and the feeling are super strong. So honor whatever gifts come forward for you. When you're working with your guides, understand that meditation is also important. 5 minutes. Binaural beats, or shamanic drumming. There are guided meditations as well, but being able to meditate in the noise. So when the kids are screaming, the dogs are barking, it helps you when you're out and about during the day. So it helps you learn how to navigate energies, protecting your energies, and having this channel to come through for the guides. Because when there's noise and you're working on all of this channel opens up. And they're able to come through because you've worked and you've practiced meditation, listening to binaural beats and things like that as well. But understand as well, when we talk about the law of attraction, live from the inside out. Your inner world is your outer world. It's like a kaleidoscope. You see how when you look through a kaleidoscope, it like folds in on one another, these multifaceted mirrors. We are everywhere. We are spirit. We are always connected. All of these meridians that we have, these chakra channels as well, are within and around our being, which is through the veil, in spirit, in Gaia, in source. We are so connected all of the time. speaking to your guides, be very clear. What are you looking for? Don't, you know how it's like a kid in the candy store. I want the lollipops, I want the Twizzlers, and you're going and you want all these things all at once in the bag, and then you get a stomachache later. So don't make your head blow up with all that ascension symptoms of, you know, the headaches and all of that. Write down your intentions. I just want to feel my guides. I just want to work on opening my gifts. What is it that's important to you? Write it down. Just like we manifest, writing things down and state it. Work on a couple of bullet points. Don't go more than 3. And that way you can work on them for a couple of weeks. I would say give it a good month. And when you mark on the calendar a month and you look back, I want you to look back at your growth. I feel them now. I didn't feel them before. And you know what? When we do an exercise, you might realize the reason that you haven't felt them is because you've been feeling them this whole time.
Yeah, it's not always going to be a big booming voice or a magical presence or a light in your room. You know, usually it's very subtle.
Yes, I mean, they're not going to come in and like song and dance you, and you know, they come in to let you know I'm here and this is Jesus, and now it's, you know, Ra or whoever else comes forward. You can know who your guides are, or some just like the connection of feeling the collective of their guides as well. But really working with your ego, that's a big thing too. Knowing any negative thoughts and emotions that come up. The emotions are such a tool to navigate what's going on in your being as well. I find that on my journey, working with my shadow self and the things that are within me, one of the things that happened to me is bullying. We all have a story, right? We all have something that we come from. I was bullied by several different people, workplace, all that kind of stuff. And when I focused on healing that aspect, so much growth came from that. So understand that there's a lot of different, you know, we can go in so many different directions. What can help me grow and feel my guides and start channeling and start using my gifts? There are so many different areas. So if you notice different things that I say, maybe this doesn't, no, that doesn't resonate with what Kristen's saying, but this does. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason you go to a website. There's a reason you turn on the TV to that moment when they're talking about meditation. There's a reason. So notice and be that observer and say, I see that. Thank you. And by thanking your guides and giving gratitude when you notice, that's a big thing too. When you see the 1111, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, your birthday, whatever it might be that you keep seeing, you're being spoken to. These signs, synchronicities, God winks, they're speaking to you in terms of energy, and you'll start to understand it. But just give gratitude and thanks for noticing that, and then ask, now tell me what I should do with it, and then allow the answer to unfold. That's the other thing too, is to allow it to unfold, because we might not understand things. Like my guides, the angels tend to speak to me and they whisper in my ear. And one of the things they said was 1212. Now this was several months ago. I've been doing this for like 6-ish years now. And I was like, 1212, what does it mean? What's this? What's that? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know how to navigate this. My ego is getting in the way, and I was freaking out. And I'm like, I understand 1212. I give such love and gratitude to the angels for giving me this code, this number. And I ask now what this means. And 1212 is actually a code. It's unlocking and using the Merkaba field. And they were actually whispering. You know how you can see people will speak light language, there's sacred geometry like the flower of life, all of that. Numbers are codes. 1212 was an activation code that I was hearing them say to me. And let me tell you, my mind was like totally not there. I was all over the place with this 12-12 thing because it can be maddening. So just know when you start, that's why it's important to observe yourself and your ego, because when you start kind of going off the deep end with all of your thoughts that your ego is telling you, just sit back and say, all right, I give this to you. I understand Kristen's freaking out right now, very excited about all of this. I know that I'm going to get the answer. So I'm going to allow it to come to me and allow it. That's the other thing, because we want to look, we want to search, and we're like, is this it? How about that? And that could be obsessive too. Just let it come to you. It's an art, it's a practice, like law of attraction. This is an art and a practice. You're learning about yourself, how you communicate with your guides, how they communicate with you, what it is you do. All of these different things, allow everything to unfold. If you can just do that, I get it. I trust and allow. That's going to open big doors for you just by doing that.
Absolutely. Trust and allow, and be willing to receive information, guidance, light, energies in whatever way that they show up.
Yes.
And know that it's for your highest good, as long as it feels good. Know that it's for your highest good.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
So Maria was asking in the chat, and it's a great question for everybody. So she says, I wonder if asking your guides is the same as using your pendulum and asking it.
Absolutely. When I'm working with my pendulum, I'm connecting. I tend to say my own little prayers just because that's what I'm guided to do when I use different types of tools. But absolutely. And when I use my pendulum, I always say no low vibrational beings, entities, or thought forms can come through. Only my guides of the highest good and the highest advice can come through. And then I ask what my yes and my no is. And then sometimes maybe I'll know, or I'll hear Jesus. Jesus, are you here with me? And I use my pendulum. Play with the pendulum. How does it want to work with you? How do you want to communicate with your guides? Some people also use Ouija boards as well. I do use the pendulum. I use one specifically for my own questions, because apparently pendulums can be just as persnickety as crystals can be, and they want to be used a certain way, and they'll tell you. So I have several pendulums. One I use for readings, one is for Reiki, and one is specifically for me. But yes, your guides can 100% come through on that. You can also use cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, whatever ones sing to you, whatever sings to you, whatever resonates with you, and you're like, yes, I need this pendulum. This is speaking to me. You get those goosebumps, those truth chills. You know that that's a tool that wants to work with you energetically, and those are your guides coming through.
And so just so, everyone's clear, your guides, could be your higher self, the angels, the ascended masters, beings of light, galactic beings, source, creator, there's gods and goddesses, the multitude of beings could be.
There are so many that can come through. And the biggest message that my guides told me recently, because when you're awakening, what do? Google. What does an Arcturian look like? Because I'll see a vision and I'm like, oh, I saw this. What is this? I got this word. What's Arcturian? What's Pleiadian? Because the vibration of this planet is rapidly changing. We can feel it. There's a disturbance in the force, right? Everyone is, COVID and everything else. That's proof that all of these vibrations are catapulting us to this new heightened level of humanity. So there are new beings that come forward. There are new realms. So channeling God's source, Gaia, all of these elementals, gargoyles, gnomes can come through. There are very unusual beings that help with healing as well. And a lot of grays, tall and the short grays, have come forward to me recently as well. So just know that whoever you encounter, always feel into that energy. You're always protected and connected. I always tell my daughter that. If you say nothing else, because she's 19, she needs something quick to make sure that she's not going to sit there and say this long prayer or something that I do to connect. I am protected, connected. She plugs into Gaia. She plugs into God's source, and open to that energy and protection.
Beautiful. Thank you. I can't believe you have a daughter who's 19.
19 years old, my Emily girl.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, mine are 22 and 26, 27 and 23. I don't know anymore. It's like I lose track. I think my daughter's 23 and my son's 27. It's like, how is that possible?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. I don't know. All right. Lise, you just, muted your video. I was just about to ask you if you wanted to ask your question. You want to unmute yourself?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was wondering, I know I've worked with Kristen in the past, and I'm just wondering if she could tell me, if I don't know if she's doing readings, but if there's a message for me today, because I'm still getting certain pain on the left front. And I know we talked about a couple different things, and I'm just curious. I've been asking my guides and my higher self, but I'm curious if she gets anything that I should know now or that's new.
Yes.
Thank
you. Lise, I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
All right. So let me just sit for a moment. I have my cards here too, because I love the visuals of them, but we're just going to pure channel. So, and I like to talk through it as well. So I'm just sitting for a moment, inviting in my guides to come close to the highest good. I now invite Lisa's energy to come through, Lisa's guides of the highest good to come through as well. I feel that energy. I feel like it's like when you have a bad headache and afterwards it's like that aftershock of a headache. It's just annoying. But let's call them forward. What is it that Lisa needs to know? Please understand that you're acclimating, but they specifically use the word regenerating as well. This is a cellular, molecular change. Look at the work that you've done. Now they're talking about ego. What do you want to say about ego? Notice how I ask, because sometimes my head gets ahead of herself. So I'll have to ask, can you bring that back? But they're talking about the ego as well. They're asking you to automatic write. Did we talk about that before? They're asking you to automatic write because it's training your ego to step aside and just allow the flow of it. So that way you can feel, what does it feel like when ego is here and how I move it out of the way so that I can channel. It's like, here, ego, here's a lollipop like you would give to a kid. Here's a lollipop, keep you occupied while you're channeling. But it feels like the ego, the automatic writing is going to assist you. Ask questions with the automatic writing. And know when you're writing, I used to start with, today's Tuesday and the date or whatever comes to mind. I saw a cardinal this morning. Oh, there's the moon. And then maybe you ask a question. I like to type. I do not have good handwriting, so I am a fast typer. So I will sit and I'll send myself emails, or you can have like a Word with folders on the computer. And I like to type all of that out. But you're having a lot of ascension symptoms. And understand that when we are raising our vibration, that's this journey, right? We're raising our frequency and our vibration. Understand that our body is kind of sometimes the last or the first to feel it, just depending on that kind of download or information that's coming through. So blurry vision, watery eyes, you're feeling, that's what they're telling me with you as well. Like, yes,
my vision. Thank you. Blurry vision. And I keep thinking, am I tired? So, but it doesn't make sense. So, okay. So the vision.
That's all pineal gland. Understand, it's not just about the crown and the third eye. Yes, we want to work on all of that, but there are these side streets and pathways and avenues and all these different parts of us that are opening so that we can become more of a clear channel, a clear vessel of light. And that's what you're gearing towards. That's what you're working towards. And I do remember that we had a big connection with your higher self the last time we spoke.
Right.
So this is the upgrading from that as well. And your guides are also saying, they use the word don't fret. That's not a term I use. Don't fret, because gifts that you had before seemed different. Don't worry about that, because understand that you can't go from kindergarten to college. You're going through the steps right now. You're raising your vibration in perfect comfort and alignment to your being, and more is coming. And we also start class tomorrow. So
Yep.
You know how that works with the energies. Does that help?
That very much helps. Thank you. I feel better about the blurry vision and this pain, and it all makes sense, but I just needed that, what I need to know now. So thank you very much. Thank you. That very much helped.
You're welcome.
Good. Awesome, Lise. Thank you so much.
Thank you
okay.
too, Alara. I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So there was a question from Angela. Poor Angela. She never gets her question asked. I don't know why, but
Today's your day, Angela.
Today's your day, Angela. Her connection is not always very good, so that's what she wrote in the chat. She said, I would love to have a message from my guys. Been having dreams that seem to be prepping me for something.
Okay, I love to use cards as well. Sometimes it's just pure channeling, sometimes it's cards. Angela, I'm going to use my Lemurian deck. Okay, so I'm just giving loving energy to Lise, allowing her energy to disconnect with love and gratitude. Bringing forward my guides once again, bringing forward Angela and Angela's guides of the highest good to please come forward. Energy feels different, understand as well, because I can feel your energy, Alara. It went like right up my spine. I can feel it. I'm automatically in the heart space. I'm finding it hard to breathe. Does that mean anything to you, Angela? Is there like pressure? What's going on with the chest area? Right here, releasing that energy. Okay, what does Angela need to know at this time? Talking about dreams. Do you understand that you work with the Akashic records, Angela? Does that make sense to you as well? I'm picking up a lot of, my guides call it the Akash, or the Akashic records. This is where you can tap into the collective Akash, your own records, to see your life, past, present, future, past lives, the lives of others as well. I'm feeling that you tap into the Akashic field. A lot of the dreams feel like things that are being worked on, but also things that are from, is it past life? Yes, I use myself as a pendulum. There's a pull to the right for yes and to the left for no. And I can switch sides if I'm confused. They're really pulling me to a right. Okay, what else does Angela need to know at this time, please? Okay. No, okay. Yeah, I love this. I can't tell you how much I love this stuff. I'm like a kid in a candy store. All right, Angela, I hope you can see this right now. Surrender. Look at that. Surrender. The need to control what's coming through, what's coming next. What does this mean? What does that mean? Google this, Google that. But this says something different than this. When you are looking something up, the guides are asking you, you can ask your guides and say, should I look this up? Because they will say, Google it. And what I do is I'll scroll through and I'm like, this one, and I just feel a no, it just doesn't feel right. And then I click on one that makes sense. And that's the one that resonates with me. But they're also saying, surrender, but surrender to yourself. The number 48, which is the number 12. Angels. There's a lot of angels that are coming forward for you as well. So when you're talking about the dreams, again, I know I just talked about this, but they're saying it's the, what does this mean? What does that mean? What are these dreams? Because they can seem so off the wall, and understand that our human mind is trying to interpret things that have happened in the past in other dimensions and realms. We lived as galactics at one point, not just here on Earth as humans, and many different time, space, realities as well. But there's a lot coming up that are in the dreams that you can use as a tool in your life as to what needs to be worked on, what needs to be released. What else do you want to tell me? They're showing me something. I don't, colors. Aura, switch sides. Is it auras? Something about colors. Auras, do you see auras? And by auras, you can see them, or you can just look at someone and say yellow, like they'll call out to you what you just know, what someone's auric field might be. There are many layers of it as well. There's a lot of gifts of yours that feel like that are trying to open at one time, which can be very confusing for the human body, if that makes sense as well. Because we're like, again, a kid in the candy store. I don't see aura, but have been going astral a lot. Okay, because the only way I can describe it, because I see and feel energy, and there's texture to it. Astral, surrender. There's something more to this. Give me just a moment. Something, okay, Akashic records again, but there's something that you're working on in the astral with another group of beings as well. But truly it's about, do you meditate as well, Angela? Meditate. When we meditate, we can also ask our guides to come in and work on us. What upgrades, what downloads? I allow and am ready to receive any healing or downloads that my guides, my team have to give. Not so good at meditation? Me neither, 100%. Sometimes you fake it until you make it as well. So you don't have to sit in silence. You can use, like I said, you can look, I always look on YouTube. I Google on YouTube binaural beats, shamanic drumming, guided meditation. So if you need to, if your mind just really goes everywhere and you're really having a hard time with it, use guided meditations. And you could guided meditations to meet your higher self or other spirit teams, that type of thing as well. Whatever stands out and sings to you, try that, because you're unlocking more of yourself, because these gifts are coming forward and it's confusing right now. Allow more of that door to your channeling abilities to open, and there's clarity that comes in with that. Does that make sense? Because surrender is a big thing. Surrender to yourself by meditating, but don't worry about it. Do it for 5 minutes. I actually will look up and do 20-minute meditations or 10-minute meditations, and they come up with all of that. And if you can do that, give me once a day, 10 minutes, and play with it. Sometimes it's like, I don't feel like it's working, but I promise you it's working, because you're getting to know yourself, your energy, and your being more. And it's allowing that door to channeling to open up more as well, if that makes sense. It's not going to be like, well, bam, it's open and all of these different sensations and things are coming through. It's going to be little by little, these things will open up, and then you start noticing, maybe some experiences come through, and then there's a lull for a while, but you're getting to know yourself more, so that way the channeling door can come open.
Beautiful. And I think, even the surrender, I think, is a big piece for Angela as well. And you mentioned at the very beginning her something about her chest, her heart chakra being heavy.
Yes.
Or something like that. Yeah. So she's been going through a lot of brief, we'll say, in the past little while, which totally makes sense as well.
Okay.
all
Much love
right.
to you, Angela. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Angela. Hopefully that helps. I know it makes sense, so not to worry. Keep doing what you're doing. And yes, definitely surrender a bit more. All right. Linda, you wanted to ask a question?
Yes, thank you. I'll put my video on.
Okay, great.
Hi,
Linda.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I have been experiencing flashing lights lately, and I know it's someone from the other side wanting to talk to me, but I don't know how best to even get an answer from that. And I don't know which Claire would be the easiest one for me to use to find out who's speaking to me and what they want.
Okay. All right, Linda. So let me just sit for a moment, giving love to Angela and her team, and love and gratitude, bringing forward Linda's guides of the highest good. For these guides. Are you a medium? Yeah, they really want to get your attention. Give me just a moment so I can ask them a few questions. So I feel through knowing. Switch sides. Okay, so what they're talking about is feeling through knowing. So what they're telling me is that you're a knower, so claircognizant. You are also a feeler, so that clairsentience. They can come through together. You can know and feel something at the same time. So when you see, I see a lot of movement at the corner of my eyes too. There's a lot of movement. Does she see good at night? Ooh, they're telling me a lot of stuff. Okay, one at a time. We have to ask, because sometimes they don't realize that it's like a lot of information. So it's like, okay, one at a time, please come forward and let me know what's going on. So one at a time, can you bring that back to me again, please? Okay, I want to pull a card too, because that's just fun. So, okay. So understand that you can have feeling and knowing come through at the same time. You know that there's somebody that's over off to the side. You can sense this. But there's also doubt of, no, that's my ego telling me that. So it's also free falling into what you're being told. Understand that when we receive claircognizant or knowing information, you could be thinking about something else, and then something totally from the opposite direction comes in. That's how you know it's claircognizance, because it's new information. You were talking about doing laundry or something like that, and all of a sudden something comes through about angels and Jesus, and where did that come from? That's claircognizance. Do you understand? So there's information that's coming through. Trust that. And the more you say, and you can full on say, okay, I talk to myself like this all the time. Be like, Linda, all right, this doesn't make sense, but I know this is my ego. This is Linda. It's okay. Our spirit understands it. Thank you, guides. Thank you for that. And trust that. You're trusting yourself to get that information as well. But I want to pull you a card because, again, I'm pulling from the same Beyond Lemuria deck because I love it and it's just fun.
It's gorgeous.
Okay. Number 22, crystal keys. Look at that. So if you look, can you see that good? Inside the bubbles are light codes. So
yes.
Okay. I'm starting to get a feeling in my throat. I can't even describe it. It's almost like buzzy. I want to swallow a lot, if that makes sense. Sometimes you might even feel like you have like a knot in your throat, like there's something there and you want to swallow, swallow, swallow. Are you talking about light language? Yes. Is this something she speaks? Yes. Switch sides. Okay, so I'm talking really fast because I use myself as a pendulum. So you can speak light language. So there are light codes coming through. And this is interesting because normally when we see, this is about trusting ourselves. Because again, normally it's like, okay, you're seeing guides. These are guides that are coming forward. You can also see beings, mediumship, people that have passed as well. You can see them as shadows. Even guides can look as shadows in your peripheral as well. However, these are light codes that they're showing you, which is something I didn't realize. But if you're seeing these flecks, they're actually, you're receiving light codes. They're telepathically speaking to you, and you're receiving downloads when you're seeing the flecks. Does that make sense? I've never heard of that before, and I'm trusting what it is that they're telling me. Do me a favor and notice how you feel. If you're able to write it down after that happens, if you have like a little notebook or pad with you, what are you feeling? Does your head feel buzzy? Do you feel fuzzy? Do you have third eye pressure? Are your ears ringing? Is your body, are you hot and cold? Do you have goosebumps? Are the goosebumps waving in different areas? You know, like my head's cold and my legs are freezing. What's going on here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been getting this buzzing right in this head, right here in my head. And it feels like little things are running around in there. And I'm going, what is that? And what should I do with it? And so it's really strange. And sometimes I get it in the back of my head, but usually it's on this side and in the back of my head. And it's just strange. Do they say anything about the poetry?
Well, they want to go back to the energy again first, just knowing that it is the movement of energy that comes with downloads as well.
Okay.
So energy that comes with downloads. Okay, you said something else. What are you saying? What are you talking? Okay. Poetry. Okay, they're talking about it's important to get it out. It's important to get it out is what they're saying, if that makes sense. This is important. Understand that light codes isn't just writing light codes that's like in this picture or singing. It can be in the form of poetry as well, in words and automatic writing and haikus and things like that is what they're talking about. And by doing that, it unlocks more within you.
Okay.
So
share. Sorry.
Yeah, share it. Absolutely. Because you don't know when you get a download, sometimes it's not like you get a download sometimes and it's like, and this light bulb goes off and you're like, I know all this. Yes, that can happen. But other times you have to actually use your own creativity and gifts in order to unlock what you just received. Does that make sense?
Because later on, when I look back, it's so historical. Because it goes from Atlantis and Lemuria, and then it comes all the way forward in time, and it's kind of like a walk through time, and it hits political stuff. It hits Atlantis with the crystals. That's why when you chose the crystal one, I'm going, oh, that's my Atlantis connection. So it's pretty cool.
The card deck that I'm using, it's Lemurian, and that's why I kept saying, I feel like I need to pull a card for you. Now I know why they were telling me to pull cards for you from that deck.
Thank you very much. I don't have any more time. I want somebody else to have it. Thank you very, very much. Thanks, Alara. I love you both.
Thank you, Linda. All right, awesome. I muted myself. All right, Linda lowered her hand. All right, I know that there's lots of questions in the chat as well from people that want to have a reading, etc. But Gina, I know you don't normally get a chance to come on the calls because you're working. Did you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Sure. Hello. For the past few months, I've noticed that when I'm going through something or something's about to change, I feel like people are choking me, really choking feeling.
Okay.
I've had a particularly stressful 2 days of work and I feel that choking again. And sorry, I'm a little emotional.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I think I'm like ready to change careers.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing your question and knowing how emotional that is. Thank you. Let's just take a breath for a moment as we connect. And your name is Gina?
Yes.
Gina, okay. Connecting with Gina and Gina's guides of the highest good. First thing that your guides would like, I actually have a headache right near here. I don't know if you get headaches or something, but I have a headache. I feel pain that's right here. A lot of just spinning around, which makes sense from what you're saying, because, you know, we have a lot of thoughts. I should have, I could have, I would have, what am I going to, that kind of thing. Okay. So the guides are first saying, check in with you. So like we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, when you're eating, how is Gina feeling? How am I feeling right now? I don't feel so great. I kind of feel crappy. Is it mine? No, it's not mine. It's very important as we start our day, we're brushing our teeth, we're brushing our hair, we're getting ourselves ready. Put up a shield of protection. So that can be mirrors around you that are facing out. It can be your guides forward that are like bouncers that are around you in a circle. It could look like, you know, Mickey Mouse and Fantasia, they're showing me, you know, how he like makes all of the water rise around him. You can have water crashing around. So Gaia's love and protection and the element of water protecting your energy. And state that prior to leaving your home.
Got it.
What is your intention for the day? Set an intention. I'm going to have a great day today. I am in charge. You're the driver, not the passenger, is what the guides always say as well. We're not just a puppet on strings being pulled in all different directions. This is time where you take charge of your own energy. And by doing that, brings more clarity in for career. What do I love to do? I love to do this, but not here. I love to do this, but not here. I feel a lot in the heart space as well. Lower chakras too, just because of the stability, you know, like, what am I going to do? And like all these just, so I don't know if digestive or stomach pains or, you know, something like that is coming on back, just lower chakra as well. Grounding, which of course people think is grounding as being in nature and all of that, which is absolutely perfect and wonderful, but doing things that bring you joy, raise your vibration, laugh, joke around. This is important to raise the vibration and bring more clarity. Let me ask. They keep repeating trustworthy and heartfelt advice. And it's like taking different pieces from others and seeing how it resonates within your being as well. They're trying to say something, it's not too clear. Okay. I want to pull a card for you too. And this is actually from my fairy deck. So it's the fairy Radley Valentine fairy deck that I'm using. Just to give a visual. What other information does Gina need to hear at this time, please? They keep repeating, and it's important when you're channeling to give what you get. It's very important. It's not supposed to make sense to me. It's supposed to make sense to the one we're giving it to. Can you bring back, what is it that you said? They keep repeating, what were you told? What were you told? What were you told? I'll get more, see if I can get more clarity of that. Okay, so this is 9 of Winter. And I love using the visual of the cards because it's talking about unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem is what this card is saying. So it's just, they're just wanting to validate. And I like using the cards because you told me, and normally I like to validate things for you, but because you told me what was going on, that's why I love using the cards to validate, this is what you just said. And the energy that I feel that's rolling around in the head, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I'm going to start getting a little emotional, and I'm being told that it's important. And I do see the color red. So this is all about that root chakra. Ground yourself, bring yourself love and joy. What the guides wish to tell you is that you've got this. Knowing that you are not alone. Other people are not in charge of you. You are in charge of you. You're in charge of your life and how you wish to live it. You just beam that beautiful light that's within you, inside out. What's in here, beam that out. So when you go in a room as a clairsentient, as a feeler, what do? We go in the room and we start absorbing, oh, I feel this, and this one's not in a bad mood, so let's not go near this person. But when you go into the room, go into work, and you assess, your energy is assessing what's happening, turn it around. Okay, I've assessed what happens. I bring in my guides of the highest good. I just beam out love, gratitude, joy, and healing. Okay. And watch how the atmosphere shifts and change. Maybe the person that's maybe a pain in the neck kind of stays away from you a bit more because they can feel the energy and they're like, I don't want to be happy right now. I want to be in it and I don't want to be happy. Just notice how you're not forcing change on anyone. You're just beaming your natural amazingness and glow out there. But it is because they always show me like a fork in the road. They're actually showing me, they're showing me three different paths, because you can go down this way over here that's different than something you thought you could do, or doing what you do, but just not where you're at currently, and putting that out there to the universe. I'm ready. But understand too, the way the law of attraction works, the universe will let us know it's time to move on by making us uncomfortable in the situation we're in.
Yeah.
So knowing that you have total control over your life, you're not a puppet with strings being pulled in different directions. You can assess yourself. Is this mine? Anything that is not mine, let Gaia pull it out. Just grow those roots into the earth and just picture her pulling them out. They're not mine. Let her transform and transmute that muck, because it's not yours. Now I ask that you fill me up with just loving energy. I'm not controlled by others' emotions. I am in charge of my emotions. And saying that as like a mantra, or change the wording around. I'm big on affirmations. So saying that helps to speak to your mind, to your ego, knowing that you are in control, and allowing where your next move is. Like they keep showing me a chess game, which I'm not a chess player, but they're showing me a chess game. And they're saying, where is your next move now? And with the openness and the clarity that you receive from protecting your energy will allow you to assess which direction would be best for you. But it's also word of mouth, I feel too. I think it's talking with other people, and it's word of mouth as to where you go next is what I feel as well, if that makes sense. So let me know.
Thank you. No, that was perfect, because I know I need to shield myself from other people's energy. And I've run a huge program with hundreds of people. So I get all that.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So give yourself a lot of credit, Gina. Thank you for being so vulnerable with your question. That's hard to do. I thank you for trusting me to be able to answer that for you, and let us know how you're doing. That's a lot of energy. So give yourself credit for a clairsentient to be amongst that many people. Hey, give yourself credit.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina.
Nice to meet you.
And yeah, that was absolutely brilliant for you, Gina. So yeah, that was what you needed to hear, what you needed to receive, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Glad you were here. I was going to say something in the I was going to say also, part of that message that was for Gina, it was actually for all of us as well. So, try to understand that when we are receiving messages from guides, they always have a little bit of a higher vibration, higher frequency, higher perspective than us. So even though I didn't ask that question, and Gina asked it, but it definitely resonated. It definitely made sense, right? About maintaining our energy field, maintaining our thoughts, all of that stuff. So, please receive the information, the wisdom, and the codes and the healing from all of the questions. Even if your question doesn't get asked, receive the information and wisdom from all of the questions, because it's all helpful to everybody, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I wanted to take, I don't know where the time has gone, but I want to take a few minutes and talk about the package from Kristen, which is available at alara.at/show/Kristen1. I'm gonna screen share 1 second, so I can bring up on the screen here. All right, so I just, and then after that, we'll see if we have time to take more questions or if we're gonna do a process. So basically it's a 60-minute personal reading with Kristen, just like what you received now, for 111, plus a bonus Law of Attraction Masterclass. So Kristen, you've just been sharing with us how you do readings, but is there anything else that people need to know?
Whatever is in your highest good at the time of your reading is what's going to come forward. So whatever it is that your soul needs to know at that time to bring you peace, to bring you joy, that's what the guides are going to bring forward for you. And put that in your mind, because the guides will typically answer that before you get a chance to ask it as well. But it can entail anything: life circumstances, navigation, spiritual guidance, all of that wrapped in together, whatever is in your highest good.
And then there's a bonus Law of Attraction Masterclass coming up next month. Oops, there goes my throat. So can you tell us a little bit about that as well? I know we talked a little bit about Law of Attraction today as well on the call.
Yes, this is a free service. So this is going to be free for about 90 minutes. I'm going to be talking about how the guides have taught me how to use the Law of Attraction to live your best life, regardless of circumstances, regardless of health, all of that, living your best life. A Q&A at the end of that as well, for free.
Yes, awesome. And of course, the 24-hour special is available as well for this package. Use the gift code TACS10. Again, the 10% gift from me to you, and that is available for 24 hours. So that is Kristen's package. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I mean, if you want to get some questions answered, if you want to get some information about your guides, about where you're going next, what your guides have to say to you, for you, then you definitely want to book a session. And like I said, it's 60 minutes. And how far ahead are you booked, Kristen?
Right now, I am in mid-March.
Okay, cool.
So booking into mid-March right now.
Awesome. So there's a little bit of wait, but you know what? By the time that comes around, either your issue will be resolved or there'll be other stuff that you want questions answered about, right? So I can't talk anymore. My voice is like completely gone. So again, I can't put the link in the chat for whatever reason, but again, it's available at alara.at/show/Kristen1. So now, Kristen, do you want to do the process or do you want to take some more questions?
I'd really like to take you through a process, feeling the guides and connecting and seeing what comes forward for you.
Cool. Right. Okay. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah.
All right. So just getting yourself comfortable. You can either sit or lay down, whatever resonates with you. And I invite you to close your eyes. Just take a couple of breaths in through the nose. Let out a sigh. Let all the heaviness out. Breathe in that loving prana. Breathe out any heaviness, all that doesn't serve you. Breathe it out. Now check into your body, scanning, starting from the crown, the top of the head. Your eyes are relaxed, not squinched. Your jaw is slightly open. Lift your shoulders up, let them rest back down. Breathe, go down to the stomach. Make sure you're not sucking in, just let it be just comfortable. You're sinking in your seat. Allow the energy to just pour down through your legs to your feet. Now you're standing on your Earth Star chakra right now, and just picture it just shimmering as if it's in an ocean of water, using that beautiful element to help with the connection to Gaia. Grow your roots down into this Earth Star chakra and water, and you're this huge tree, huge roots going in all directions, anchoring right at Gaia's heart, her core. Smaller roots in either directions, and you just see yourself as this massive tree growing from the earth. Gaia, we connect to you now. Please pull from us all that no longer serves us for our highest good. We give you so much love and gratitude. We invoke your energy into our being now. Breathe in, and as you breathe in, coming up through your feet, all the way up your stomach, your chest, exploding out like a fountain from your crown. Breathe out as it circles back down. Breathe in. Have that Gaia energy come up through the feet again, through your body, exploding out your crown as you breathe out. This is our natural state of being, just the intention and awareness of Gaia. God, creator, all that is, it is commanded that you pull, clear, cancel, and delete on all levels and resolve on the history level. Any waivers, watchers, anything low vibrational that does not serve our highest and greatest good, we send all up to unconditional love. Please allow us to be pure, clear channels of light now and throughout our day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Show me. Breathe down. Breathe the God source energy through your crown, going down your head, your chest, down to your feet, exploding out your feet and circling back up again as you're breathing down through your crown, through the body, and that Taurus energy. Every cell is filled with Mother Gaia and source energy. We ask you to go to your heart space now. Breathe. Open up this doorway, this connection. Expand your heart chakra now. In all directions. Does it fill the room, the block, the street? Just allow it to be where it comfortably wishes to be now. Bringing your attention to your crown. Set the intention to connect to your soul star chakra. You might feel stretched, taller, tingles. Guides of the highest, we ask you to come forward now. With love, with gratitude. We ask our space holder guides to come forward and close to us now to assist with our energy, our frequency. Taking a few breaths. Guides, we ask you to step away outside of our auric field now. Notice any differences. Are there colors that were there and now are not? Sounds. Guides of the highest, we ask you to come close now so we feel you. Come close. Notice any tingles, any energy, heat, coolness. You're just observing your being now, how you interpret their energy. Guys, we ask you to step away now. Did you feel a shift? Don't force it. Let it be what is. Guys of the highest, we ask you to come close now. We ask you to give us a message. What do we need to know in this moment? You might see something, know something. They might present you with a gift. You might feel the energy. Trust what it is that you're getting now. What do I need to know for my highest good? Palpitations are also a sign of their presence coming closer. Swirls of energy like a lava lamp in your mind's eye could be the colors of your guides. Breathe. What is my spiritual gift to work on now? Get a tingle at the third eye, at your crown. I feel a lot in the chest, clairsentience feeling. In this moment, giving love and gratitude to our team of the highest, keeping this connection open always, that we ask you to work with us each day in the highest good of love and light. We give love, we give gratitude. Take a good breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Start feeling your fingers, your toes, feeling into the body, knowing you can come back to this space at any point. And when you're comfortable, open your eyes. With that meditation, thank you. Thank you.
I didn't quite want to come back, as I wanted to stay in the space and feel.
The thing with channeling too is you might think you're making things up, but trust that you're not. I can't stress enough to write things down because I've had some trippy stuff that's happened to me, and you can talk yourself out of it. Write it down. Talk in groups, Alara's show, and be able to share this information. But notice how things come through. Maybe your clairsentience, because people kind of poo-poo on the feeling, but man, is that a beautiful thing to have clairsentience and to feel, because you can't ignore when you feel love and joy. Man, does that light you up, and how amazing that is. Use that, because I feel I'm feeling like the sense of renewed joy in the gifts that you have, because a lot of people want the clairvoyance. They want to see, right?
Yeah.
Honor your gifts is a big thing.
I just wanted to share some of the comments in the chat. And if you, for those of you who are here, please do share in the chat what you experienced. So Joy says, wow, Kristen, thank you so much for your beautiful, loving energy. I received a golden disc, or rather a golden sphere, radiating and powerful. I have no idea what it was, but it was wonderful. Good. That's all that matters.
Yes. Yep.
Maria, I don't know what your message means. I see numbers and letters, so as long as it feels good to you. Linda said that was so beautiful. Stacy says, thank you, Kristen, that was amazing. Lee says, thank you so much. Your energy is so strong and loving. I always feel it. Maria said it was so amazing, purple color. Thing said, I felt a cool breeze on my right cheek and ears ringing. Awesome, good. And some of you might, receive messages later. It might not be right now in this moment, but you might receive messages later as you progress through the day.
Right? Especially prior to sleep, as you're falling asleep, as you're waking up, that communication can come forward because you're in that hypnagogic state, so you're more receptive. So just notice what flows through you.
It was 21:22 when we stopped. Got it. Okay, so that was the number. Got it.
Wow. Oh my gosh, 20. I just realized 21 is one of my numbers. Thank you, Maria. You were an angel for me. You were a sign.
Good. So when you were talking about, you said in the process, what is your gift, right? And I got right away clairsentience, right? So I got, because I am clairsentient, but I got clairsentience, but then I also got, a lot of tingling in my brow and a lot of tingling around my crown and obviously my throat. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with my throat. And then that's the thing, is like, sometimes you might think it's one thing, but and that might be part of your gift, but you might have a, other gift as well. So I am clairsentient, I am claircognizant and clairvoyant, etc. But sometimes one gift, is stronger than another. It changes depending on what I'm doing, right? So right now I'm doing a lot of channeling, so I'm receiving, a lot of claircognizant information, right? So I'm receiving a lot, I'm channeling, and when I'm doing my healing work, for example, I do a lot of clairvoyance work at that time, right? So I use my clairvoyance a lot. So just know that it's not always just one thing. Oh, I'm clairvoyant. That might be one of your gifts, but you might also be clairsentient, and you might also be a channel. You might also be a healer. You might also be also. So just remember that.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And they can come in together too. So you might see through knowing, and it might be like a memory or something is how you're seeing the clairvoyance. So know that these gifts can come through every different way. Remember, this spirituality is not one size fits all. It's your fingerprint.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard that, but it's like, I heard a strange sound. And Maria says, tingling in somewhere and pressure in my jaws. So tingling and pressure in my jaws and temples is what she's been experiencing. Ellen says, I have to get accustomed to the guides in my presence. I feel better, humanly safer when they are distant. Ooh, interesting. So again, becoming comfortable with it, right? Being receiving from them.
I used to get anxiety with it too. So just know that when guides came forward, if I felt anxiety or severe shaking, I would be sitting with Susan Kennard and I would get shaking up my neck, up my spine. And our body needs to adjust and get acclimated to the energy. So remember, it feels different. So notice, play with the spirit hokey pokey and see how you feel and how it changes over time.
Yeah. Rosemary says, an eye appeared in my central inner vision. Funny, because I asked my guides not to scare me with visions. Yeah, totally understand that. Mina says, thank you. Really felt that in my heart space, fluttering and tingling. Good, awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mina.
And so, one of the things I received as well during the process was like this pink lotus, but the pink lotus flower was like going all around my energy field. So it's not just like, staying in one spot. It was like, moving around in my field. So it's like upgrading my field and clearing out some stuff. And so it was quite interesting. I have to, I've been working with the lotus flowers. So I'm going to actually later put the lotus flower in my throat. It's like, okay, I need to like be more clear in my throat. I don't know what's going on. It's like there's something happening there. Yeah. So I can barely talk, which is strange. And Linda says that was an interesting experience to feel their energy with or without them near our auric field. Yeah, good. I'm glad you mentioned that, Linda. Yeah, that was part of the process, was feeling them close to us and then feeling them away from us and how that felt, right? Good. And that'll give you more of an indication when you're calling on your guides, how they feel. And you'll start to get used to their presence and what that feels like for you.
Yes.
Good. Awesome. Thank you for mentioning that. I forgot that part about the process. All right. Anything else, Chris? I know there's lots more questions in the chat from people, but was there anything else that you wanted to share? So Madalena said, I'm very much clairsentient and I felt a lot on my crown chakra too. Also, when the guides came in, I felt like an energy swirling on the side of my torso.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Right, we all experience energy differently, don't we? And we all experience our guides differently. It's never, like Kristen was saying, it's never one size fits all.
Yes,
right? It's
100%.
unique to each of us.
And that's why it's important to talk about it as a collective. So really finding groups, having a soul tribe that you're able to discuss and talk about experiences, other people's experiences. Other people are keys, energetic keys to unlock something within you as well. So know that we're getting together right now. And although I might be the one, like Alara and I are, speaking on this, we're still receiving your beautiful energy as well. So you have something, no matter what level you are at, just awakening and beginning, you have your own unique signature that is vital to my growth as well, to Alara's. So all of you have this beautiful energy that we're exchanging. And that's how new guides for me come forward, because, when I speak to Lise, this new galactic guide can come forward that I didn't perceive before. The Ascended Masters, when I had that experience, it brought me to my knees. And that was when I first started, when I spoke to a friend, and that unlocked within me as well, because we're exchanging energy and raising our vibration together. That's why it's important that you get to choose who you're around. Your energy is valuable. Yes, we have to go to work, so beam out that beautiful light of yours and not be taken in different direction. And know, what are you watching on TV? What are you listening to? You have a choice as to how you want to use your energy, but your guides are always there, loving and supportive. It's you just opening up, getting out of our own way, which is its own process. Start writing things down, try and meditate. You can be bad at it. I really was not great at meditating, and sometimes it was like I was too antsy, I couldn't do it. But even when you're bad, it's good, I promise you, because you're taking that time for you.
Exactly. 5-10 minutes a day is going to make a huge difference for sure.
Yeah.
And so I highly recommend getting a session with Kristen if you can. Like I said, it's 60 minutes for 111, which is a good number. I like that number, 111, 111. But you're not going to find that 60 minutes for that price anywhere. You won't, right? So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And 60 minutes can seem really short, but when you're actually talking to somebody, it's like time just expands. And when you're receiving the information and the guidance from your guides, you're also receiving healing at the same time. You're receiving the higher vibrations and frequencies and light codes that you need to take that next step. Okay. And so at the same time, it's not just about words, right? It's an energy, it's a frequency, it's a vibration that you're receiving. And that will make a shift in you as well, not just the words that you get. So that's why it's like, I don't like to always call it a reading. For me, it's more like a personal transmission, right? Because it's a transmission of light, and it's a transmission of love from your guides, your higher self and your guides. So definitely, if you can gift yourself that would be awesome. Like I said, I had a session with Kristen, I think in December. I don't know. Feels like a long time ago.
Because I needed to bake that day. I remember.
I know, it's like it was so long ago now. It's like I don't know. It's like, but I definitely highly recommend you getting a session with Kristen, booking that session with her, and taking advantage of her, the wisdom, the energy, her light, right, and her love that she shares so freely and openly as she's done today. Like I said, this was her first telesummit, I think, right?
Yes,
as well. So I think she did a great job.
Thank you.
Right, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and Kristen did a lot of readings as well, plus the process. So all in all, really good. I know probably not enough time, but as you can tell, my voice is going still. So it's like, it's going to be gone soon, I can tell. But yeah, I really appreciate you all being here, supporting Kristen, because I know a lot of Kristen's clients, friends, family also came to support her, and that's amazing. That's brilliant, so like, I'm so happy for you. And then of course, my wonderful community as well. Thank you for coming and supporting Kristen, because you've never seen her before on the show. So it's wonderful to support somebody brand new as well, right? On their journey. And the more that, Kristen does shows and readings and etc. and whatever, she's also developing. We all develop the more that we do this work. It's not just we're done. No, we continue to grow and evolve and expand. And so that is with all of us. You're also growing and expanding. And sometimes the information and wisdom, the transmission that you receive, it's going to unlock something in you that you need to move forward on your journey, on your path. Okay. So yeah, I can obviously talk a lot, but my voice is not going to cooperate much longer. But yeah, that was brilliant. I can only do the 3-pay, so we'll schedule to be way beyond March. No, it'll be whenever you book. Whenever you purchase, you'll get the link to book the session. It's not going to be after the 3-pay. Hopefully that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So not to worry about that. Just, as soon as you purchase, you'll receive an invoice which will have the link to book your session. Okay. Yeah. Kristen is an amazing channel. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I don't know if you asked a question earlier and I missed it, but yeah, start. And we'll have to have Kristen come back on again. So, so she can share some more of her wisdom and her light. Go ahead, Lise. Did you want to add something?
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add, through taking some courses with Kristen, I'm and still not great at meditation, but what she taught me was meditation can be other things or times other than sitting in the corner and closing your eyes and trying to have quiet. So in my gardening, in my cooking, and yesterday was a music meditation because I put on some good music that just, I feel I'm flowing, and I just kind of close my eyes and move in my own living room. And if I do that for 10 minutes or whatever it is, so I feel less guilty, I know I'm doing the right thing, I'm still connecting with source. And I didn't have that joy until Kristen brought that to me. So I just wanted to say thank you and to share that too with those others that are feeling bad about, I'm not good at meditating. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Lise. And yeah, I know a lot of people have a hard time meditating, but we'll talk about that on another call. But it doesn't have to be that difficult. It just basically, it's just, breathing, being. So, I was, this is one of the things that came through my channeling yesterday was that meditating is not a doing. It's just a being and a receiving. Right. Yeah. So that's all it really is. And so sometimes the structure around meditation and the techniques around meditation can get people a little bit feeling like they can't do it, but it's really not. It's just being.
Well, and it's the monkey mind too, right? Because
Absolutely.
you have all these things floating by. It's like, I need to pick up eggs. Oh yeah, I'm meditating. Oh yeah, I need to get coffee. Oh yeah, I'm meditating. Oh, the dogs, I'm meditating. But that's a process, because when you catch yourself and you see yourself observing the thoughts flow by, now I can't talk. That's an amazing thing, and congratulate yourself for that, because you're not in it. Oh, I need to do this and get that. And no, it's floating by.
You're just observing. Yeah, that's it. It's just about observing. Yep. And like Ellen says, time with me and the divine. Absolutely. Time with you and the divine. That's what it is. It's a reunion with you and between you and the divine. That's that in its essence, at the core, that's what it is. But so thank you for that. I know we're going off on a tangent, but yes, Kristen, thank you again so much. And this was brilliant. We'll have to have you back again for sure. And all the information that you shared about the guides, working with the guides and etc. There's so much wisdom here. So please do go back and watch or listen again. And know that it's possible for you too. It's not just for Kristen, it's not just for me, but you can also access your guide. You can also channel, you can also heal, you can also do everything and anything else. It takes practice, it takes playing with it and trusting, right?
100%.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Kristen. And thank you so much, everyone. Again, check out Kristen's package. It's available at alara.at/show/Kristen1. All right, so everyone, until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.